Welcome, welcome. It is Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you are in the right place at the right time. I'm telling you, boy, we're going to have a very exciting show. I have a beautiful young lady all the way out from New York City, well, New Jersey, across the river. But she's still hanging out in the streets over there on the East Coast, and she's going to give us an update on what's going on over there. So I'm so excited to have her, a first time guest to the show. So we're going to bring her on in a few minutes. So, the first thing I want to do is give a shout out to my mentor, Dr. Hunt. Dr. Hunt and I have been traveling in life for 30 plus years together. And I tell you, if you don't have a mentor, get one because mentors are very valuable. And then if you got a mentor, be sure and lift them up in prayer, keep them encouraged because they need encouragement as well. Mentors, my mentor, Dr. Hunt, has been a blessing to both me and my family. So if you understand that, mentors have value, then you'll get you one and keep one. All right. So now, I want to invite you all to go over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. When you get over there, I want to invite you to check out all of my advertisers. Here's a few of them listed here. RRJ Web. If you are interested in establishing a website, he is the person to help you put one together. If you have a broken website, he is the person to help you fix your website. Search Synergy. If you're interested in finding out how you can save money with solar panels and solar energy, give them a call. They can help you save money on your electric bill, your energy bill, and show you how you can make money by doing such. Port Again Sam. Sam brings in some of the best wines and spirits from all over the world. And I tell you, holiday season is coming. You're going to want to get in touch with him and find out what your new favorite wine is going to be. So, Port Again Sam, I tell you, he runs out fast, especially around the holiday season. So, you don't want to dilly-dally around too long. You want to make that appointment and get over there and get your inventory. And last but not least, Prince Hunter Financial Group. Now, we have been talking to people that have been dealing with the Prince Hunter Financial Group, interviewing them live on the show. And I tell you, he has been helping people learn how to work the stock market or the Forex market. So if you don't have any knowledge about those markets, you might want to reach out to him and say, hey, I need my 4 free classes that you're offering. He's offering 4 free classes. Give him a call, reach out to him, and say, hey, sign me up. Let me get those free classes. And then you can find out how millions of people survive off the stock market. It's a lot of money to be made on the stock market. You just got to get in there and figure out what to do for yourself. So now, I am so excited to have our guest. She's been sitting in the green room, and Miss Brittney just happens to be the daughter of one of my very good friends, from back in the day. I'll just say it like that. He ain't with us no more, so that's back in the day. But he had a very instrumental part in bringing this young lady to the world. And I'm so excited to bring her on the show for the very first time, Miss Brittney G. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Ron. Thank you. What's going on? How are you?
Oh, I'm still alive, baby.
Yeah,
That's my testimony, and that's what I stick to it.
that's good news.
You
That's
know,
good news.
uh, you know, unfortunately, your father, had a, incident that allowed him not to be here anymore with us. But since he left this presence and went to another presence, you and I have, been in touch with each other. And I try to keep up with you, and it's been a blessing and a pleasure to always try and offer words of encouragement to you. When we first started talking, you were in college, and I call you on your birthday, then you call me on my birthday,
Leo gang,
and I'm
bang bang, Leo gang. We're both Leos, so
yeah,
yeah.
and I'm like, oh, she must really care because she keep calling back.
Right.
Oh, but it's been a joy and a pleasure to watch you evolve, through life, and I was just like, man, this is a story that needs to be told. I need to interview you. I need to bring you on my show so we could talk about what's going on in your life.
Yes, yes,
You know,
yes.
now, well, how long has it been? 10, 20 years? It ain't been no 20
It's
years.
been 10 years in this June that passed was 10 years, June 8th.
Wow, 10 years.
Yeah, it went by
So,
so
over
fast.
10 years ago, you were in college
Mm-hmm.
and you were studying to get into the industry,
Right, right.
the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's talk about that a little bit. How did that go for you? I mean, the school didn't help. I mean, they didn't set you up with no sitcoms in New York and all
Right,
that
right.
stuff.
Well, I was actually studying film study, so it's more so
Okay.
writing. It's more so like analytics and not analytics, but analyzing films and things like that. I could have gotten a job as like a writer, but I minored in theater at IUP, which is Indiana University of Pennsylvania, and that's where I went for my undergrad. So I wanted to do more theater and more film. So they wouldn't have necessarily like pushed me out there. NYU wouldn't have necessarily pushed me out to, go sees and go on auditions and things like that. It was up to me. So
It was up
yeah,
to you.
yeah, it was up to me. But they did, but I do put them on my resume, and that is a big boost that NYU is on my resume, even the acting resume.
Hmm.
So it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So how did you feel about that? I mean, as a young person, trying to, feel your way in the industry, New York is always busy. They've always got off Broadway, they've got Broadway, they've got all types of production work going on there. So how did you feel about that?
Right. It's not easy navigating. It's not easy at all. You have to know the right people, talk to the right people. And if you're not in those little groups, then you have to figure it out on your own. And I'm not always in those groups. So most of the time I have to figure everything out on my own. But I did, try to get into some theater things, and I have been in a commercial and theater, so that helps. And then when you meet people that are, in theater, or like the director of the theater, then they tell you, or they give you little hints, little crumbs, or to go here or go there. But other than that, if you're not hooked up, if you're not in there, you're on your own. Basically, you gotta find your own way. But that's fine because I love doing research. I love finding my own way. So, and it hasn't been as successful as I would like, but at least I'm doing what I want to do, and at least I'm creating the life that I want to live. So, I'm happy with that.
Good. So are you a triple threat? Now what I mean by that is do
Sing,
you
dance, and I
yeah,
can
are you
sing.
you
I
know
can
exactly
sing.
where I was going. Go ahead.
So I know what a triple threat is. I know. So yeah, I sing, and I guess I can dance, but I don't do much dance, and I wouldn't be a musical theater person. It would be more straight theater. So, but yeah, yeah, I guess I can do some choreography if I was taught, but more like a double threat.
I said double
A
threat.
double.
Okay. So now would you I know people say if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. So with what you know now, would you have always stayed in New York and try to hammer out something to happen, or would you try somewhere else?
Right, right. So being that I know now what I know now, I would, well, hindsight is 2020. What I would have done if I wouldn't have went to NYU for film studies, I would have specifically focused on theater and drama. I would have done that. Maybe go to a conservatory if anybody's out there that's looking, or trying to figure something out. Go to a conservatory, or try to get into like what is it, Juilliard, or even NYU. You can audition for those, but even a conservatory. Conservatory, I believe, is a little easier to get into, and it's not as expensive because right now I have Joe Biden, he did what he did with the student loans or everything like that, but I still am owing a lot of money. So if you're wanting to, get into acting, go to a conservatory, take acting classes and things like that. That's what I should have done. I was doing acting classes, but I should have went to a conservatory. So that's what I would suggest if if you want to get into acting, and if you don't get into like Yale or Juilliard or NYU for that, I would say that you should definitely try to do a conservatory, and you can stay in New York. New York is a great place for acting, and especially Broadway, off Broadway. You can get some looks. So I've been in off Broadway, but yeah. So
Yeah. Would you suggest that people come to New York and try and break in, or would you say try someplace easier like
I,
Atlanta or
right
something,
now, I
you
would say
know?
wherever you are,
Mm-hmm.
go do things where you are. Build up your resume in your town, and then if
Mm-hmm.
you feel like okay, you got your confidence, because probably what town you're in or your small town, they're not going to charge hundreds of dollars for acting classes. They're not going to charge hundreds of dollars for headshots. So that's where you can save money, and then you can build up your skills and build up your your resume or what have you, and then you can go to LA, Atlanta, and New York. Then you can do it like that. But I would suggest just staying there, building it up. And that's what I did. And then I moved to New York. So I would suggest that.
Okay. So now you mentioned singing. So what would you say is your genre of music that you would specialize in? Don't say hip hop. Please don't say hip hop.
Right. No, actually, I love rapping, but no, that's not my genre. I would say I actually like music, a lot of musical theater. I love Hamilton. That soundtrack is amazing. The score is amazing for that. If you haven't seen Hamilton and you can't see Hamilton, do a free trial for Disney Plus. Is on, I think it's on Disney Plus, and it's really really great, really really great. I love
Yeah.
that. Little Shop of Horror. Since I was little, I loved Little Shop of Horror. So I love that. I love like regular stuff, Beyonce and things like that. I love Fleetwood Mac is one of my favorites. Stevie Wonder. So I
So
have
so
a
you sing all those things or you just listen to all those things?
I listen and I sing to all those things, but
Okay.
mostly music, music theater, though, musical theater.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. And I have to clean this up about the rap or the hip hop. I've got friends that follow my show that I've all interviewed that are rap artists or hip hop artists, and they have broadened my horizon. When it comes to understanding the message in the music
Mm.
through that genre. So, if I don't clean that up now, they're gonna be calling me up talking about me later on,
Yeah, as they should. Yeah, all rap music, you have to really listen real deep, real deeply. If you're a good hip hop artist, your beat will be good, and your music will be good, and the lyrics will be good into it, and you'll have something to say. So yeah, not all rap music is terrible. So
No,
there's some.
and the people behind it. Now that's the most important thing. I
Hmm.
ran into some brothers that I was able to have intelligent conversations with on the air and off.
Hmm.
So and I tried to broaden the understanding of my audience by interviewing a wide variety of people. See, I'm working on, broadening the young audience today by bringing you on because I'm catering to a young audience today.
Right.
So you know, would you say, in the future, because I know you're, 10 years older, out of school now. So are your ambitions still the same to try and land that role and do something huge with
Absolutely.
it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Acting is a love, that I really, really love. But I also, I'm working on content creation and things
Hmm.
like that, and developing like maybe my own little skits and things like that. So yeah, I still love acting.
Okay. Well, and YouTube has a platform that allows people to be, very creative.
Hmm.
I've actually stumbled upon actors and comedians on YouTube that have me spellbound. I'm like,
Mhm.
wow, what are they up to now?
Right, right. Yeah, some of the
You know,
talent is amazing. There's so much talent out there now, and you can actually see the talent because there's so many platforms like TikTok, and those are short forms of where you get a skit across, and then YouTube is you know really huge with acting and skits and things like that and vlogging. So there are just so many platforms and so many ways to get yourself out there that I would definitely recommend that as well if that's what you want to do. I'm trying to develop things right now. I just don't want to put anything out there for YouTube. So, but yeah.
so are you a TikTok sensation? I hear those words all the time where they have these challenges and all
Right.
that stuff.
Right.
So are you a big TikTok sensation?
Not a big TikTok sensation at all. I'm trying to get into it, but I'm not a big TikTok sensation at all yet. No, but it's really good. It's really good. Some of the talent on there, you can go there for recipes. People make recipes on there. You'll learn how to cook on there. You learn how to do makeup on there. Cut your own hair. Sorry, Dr. Ron, but you can cut your own hair on it.
What you trying to say?
You can cut your hair. You can do just. There's just so much
Uh,
on there. But yeah, this
yeah,
social media is really great, especially for the creative, especially for acting and things like that. So yeah, no, it's awesome.
yeah. It's funny. I had a hairstylist. I guess that's what they call themselves. On the show one time,
Hmm.
and she was bragging about all the things that she can do with hair. I said, "Well, can you fix me up with some braids or something?" She said, "Sure, come on down to the shop."
Oh
And
man.
I was like, "I'm not coming to that shop. If you can put braids on this head, something ain't gonna be right."
Right, right. Yeah, no,
You know,
you'd have been
yeah,
looking crazy. People been looking at you like you was crazy with them glued down braids.
yeah, yeah. And
I'm
then
glad
go to
I'm
sleep
glad
on it 3 times. I'll be looking like Stevie Wonder with big blotches of hair missing over here and over there. I say somebody needed to put a scarf on his head before he laid down.
I'm glad you turned down that invitation.
Yeah,
I
no,
just
I'm not trying to do
yeah,
it.
stick to
Yeah.
you look great how you are. You look great how you.
Bless your heart, baby. Bless your heart. She's so sweet, y'all. Y'all just don't know. I paid her money to say those things.
He sure did.
So now, I know you're in New Jersey, but you venture across the bridge quite a bit. So what's the nightlife like over in New York? I know the COVID is over with now, so they say.
Right.
Notice I said they say.
Mm.
But are you venturing out? Are you out there, taking chances with your life, going to events and stuff?
Take a chance with my life, Jesus. I can't. I gotta take a chance with my life just to go party. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, because COVID ain't over.
COVID.
Look, they may not have 100,000 people dying a week, but 3,000, that's somebody's family.
Yeah,
Y-
that's true.
You
That's
know?
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still sad, very sad. But
Yeah.
as far as the nightlife goes, I like where I'm located. So I'm located in like Union City, Jersey City area. So I get the best of like both worlds. I get to go to New York and then party there, go out there, and then I can come to New Jersey and party here and come out here. So it's good. I've been out a couple of times since. I go to like a lot of brunches. My friends are into to brunching a lot, and it's fun. It's fun. It's really fun. They do hookah, and the music's great. DJ's great. It's a vibe. It's a vibe, as the young people say. It's always a
So
vibe.
now I'm gonna ask this crazy question. There used to be this all girl show on cable years and years ago. I can't even remember the name of it now. But they were all like five friends. They used to hang out together
What you
with
mean, living
Sally
single?
Jessica. Huh?
You mean living single?
No, not that one. With Sally Jesse Parker or whatever her name is.
Sarah Jessica Parker? You
Yeah, that
mean
one.
Sex in the
That
City?
that one. So is that kind of like the social life on the real side of things, or is that just TV?
That's just TV. It is. By the time you get off of work, you don't want to go to happy hour. You don't want to go out to, by the time you do all that, you just that's the movies. It's not like you get a Mr. Big or whatever his name was on the show. It's not like that. Especially
Okay.
especially especially for African American women. That's the Caucasian fantasy and things like that. But it's not
You
it's
said
not like that for,
Caucasian
at
fantasy.
least I don't think so for African American.
Okay, so when the sisters be hanging out together, it ain't like that.
It's not like that. It's not like that.
Okay, all
Not at all.
right,
Not at
all
all.
right.
You want it to be like that. That's why you come to New York. That's the fantasy that they tell you. That's what they give you. That's why you come for Sex in the City. But
Yeah.
I haven't maybe somebody has. I haven't experienced it myself. Somebody,
Okay.
if hey, somebody watching that has experienced that in New York City, let me know. Call me or something.
Yes, it let you know,
Let me
huh?
know,
Okay.
because I'll be
Yeah,
there.
you hanging in the wrong places, huh?
I know, right? I'm not hanging with the right people. I'm here for it.
I know that's right. So now, I know New Jersey. Sometimes people think Jersey's got a slow pace, but it really doesn't.
No,
Jersey is kind of,
it's like
they turn up their lifestyle a little bit too.
Yeah, I would consider it like an extended borough of New York. It's, the
Hmm.
parking is crazy. It's not as crowded. That's what I like about New Jersey. That at least I can breathe. At least people have some sense of like social, don't be in your they're not in your space as much, so you get to go on the train, you get to sit on the train without it being jam packed. So that's what I like about Jersey is it feels like New York a little bit, but it's more space. But it's a lot of people still. You're still on top of everybody. So I live in an
Hmm.
apartment. There's four other, which isn't bad. Four other apartments. So
In the building you're
yeah,
talking about, or in your?
including mine. So there's four total. Yeah, so
Okay.
it's not bad, and that's what I liked about this apartment building, that you weren't like on top of people, on top of people, on top of people. So you know
Right.
that was one of
Yeah.
the considerations that I had. But the rent is still crazy. Rent is still high, even though we just got out. Even though it's a what is it, inflation, and we might be heading into a
Right.
recession and everything like that. They don't care. The landlords don't care.
Yeah.
They'll
Pay
still
me
raise
my
your rent.
money.
They'll
Right.
say, okay, well, we're
Yeah.
going to raise your rent
Yeah. Pay me my money.
$50.
That's all they want. Pay me my
Yeah,
money.
that's all they want.
Yeah.
It's a big business. They
Yeah.
don't care about, your life or and things like that. If you haven't, if your cost of living hasn't increased, so they don't care.
Yeah. So I know you've been out there 10 years now. You probably won't be able to have a clear answer to this question. So, how is the rude behavior in New York? Because at one time, if you went to a diner,
Hmm.
and you're sitting down, the waiters would be so rude. And then you're supposed to tip them great big lumps of sums of money for the amount of rudeness that they offer up to you.
Mm.
So is that still a big thing over there?
I have not experienced any rudeness from waiters. I have not. I
Okay.
can't.
What about people in general?
In general, oh yeah, yeah. And you
Okay.
get
So it's a mentality.
yeah, yeah. So it's yeah, you get rude people, but just like there's rude people everywhere,
Don't
So
try to
there's
defend
crazy
them.
people. There's crazy people everywhere.
Don't try to defend them.
There's crazy people everywhere. There's rude
The New
people.
York is a capital of rudeness. Okay.
Yeah.
There, and then as you go further up to Boston, oh, it gets worse. They get rough up in Boston too.
Rough in Boston.
Yeah, they get rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the late night shows are, broadcast from New York. And I think Boston and the Yankees were playing each other, and they were trying to get each other to wear each other's uniform or jersey or something.
Okay.
Oh my God. I know the outtakes were tremendously great on that because they only showed a certain amount of conversation.
Uh-huh.
But, between those two places, there's no
Yeah,
love.
no love lost. Yeah, no, they don't. They
Yeah,
really,
no love.
really
No
like
love at all.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yankees in there. Yeah.
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 But,
No.
and would you compare Jersey to being that New York suburban borough type thing? Or you think New Jersey's a little bit mild mannered?
I think yeah, it's a little bit mild mannered, but it's like I said, it's like an extension of New York. Like you can't really tell. There's bodegas on every corner, and I live in a Spanish area, so people try to speak Spanish to me, and I'm like no no habla española, no but yeah, I would say it's a little more calm, but it still has the kind of like that energy, the same energy. It's kind of fast paced still, but it's not It's fast paced. You could definitely tell once you get across the bridge that you're in New York. You're like, okay, all right, this is New York. Yeah.
So what, they think you're Dominican or something? Is that what they're
Hey,
thinking?
they might. Dominicana, yeah. Boricua.
Yeah. So you know, there's it's multicultural in New York tremendously. I mean, they have like people from all over the world. It's a melting pot for real.
Hmm.
Um, why haven't you tried to pick up some other languages? Because you got Haitians there that speak French. They got so many different nationalities that you just never thought about doing it.
Right, right. No, I actually tried to learn Spanish. Spanish isn't an easy language. It's an easy language to learn, especially if you can't dedicate a lot of time to it. But I did try to, learn Spanish, and I actually took Spanish in high school. So, but yeah, no, no. I
Don't
have
feel,
the Google Translate on my phone. If I really need to speak some Spanish, I'll say, "Hey Siri, like, how do you say that?" So
yeah.
yeah.
Don't feel bad. I have been myself trying to learn how to speak Spanish for the last 50 years, and I'm still no good at it. I paid for lessons so many times, it's unbelievable. And that's as an
Really,
adult.
really.
Yeah, I paid money to try and learn. And they always want to take me back to the ABCs and the one, two, three, four. I'm like, I got that. Come on, bring me some real good stuff. Like I want to ask somebody how your mama doing or something like that. And they ain't trying to help me.
Right.
They're like, oh, we get to that. A, B, C. I'm like, oh my
I'm
God,
trying to
this
learn
is no good.
phrases. There's this app you might want to download. It's called Duolingo, and they have a really really good Spanish learning type of app where you can learn a lot of languages on there, but Spanish is really good, and you just have to keep at it, and they give you words and phrases and pictures to go along with it, so that helps that that you see something and then you can associate it with what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
It's
I
I,
tried to watch Spanish soap operas.
oh, telenovelas.
Yeah, but they would be talking so fast, I'd fall
Yeah,
asleep.
it's
I'm
awful.
like, okay, what happened? What happened? I wake up and the show's going off. Dang, I missed it. I don't even know what happened.
Right, right. No, that's
But
not. You want to watch probably some children's programs in Spanish, maybe. Try to
some children's
get the
program.
children, yeah, because
Yeah,
because the
okay,
children are trying to learn Spanish. And actually, I find it interesting. I was a children's fitness teacher in
okay,
Hoboken for 2 years. So and we were in Hoboken. We had a lot of like Spanish speaking. Actually, my boss was Spanish speaking, and a lot of the Spanish speaking children, because they're speaking both, they don't talk that much because they're trying to process like what language am I trying, which languages am I trying to speak, Spanish or English. So it takes them a
hmm,
while, which is really interesting. But when they get older, they're on it. They're really smart, and they can speak English fluently and Spanish fluently. And I've always been like envious of that because they're so young and they can
yeah,
do it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So you mentioned you were a children's, what you say,
Fitness teacher. It was a
fitness
yeah,
teacher.
it's called My Gym. So I don't know if there's a My Gym in Chicago, but it's called My Gym, and we would do everything from like not newborns, but pretty much newborns. We would do infant massage. They were infants. Infant massage. We would do karate. We would do a lot of things for the kids to keep them healthy, and or try to instill a healthy lifestyle into their everyday life. And it was fun. We played music for them, and we tried to make health and fitness fun. So it was really good. It was just a lot of work. It's a lot of work on your body when you're lifting up kids and things like that, and then you get worn out really quickly. So only
Yeah,
did 2 years there, and then I was
you
like,
said only.
I can't do this anymore.
So did you study any martial arts?
Oh heck no, no, no,
No.
not at all.
Okay.
No.
All right. So that was one of your careers. You want to talk about some of your other careers in New York
My,
and
my,
in the area?
well, I've only actually been really good. I've only had two jobs. So right now I'm a student advisor for mostly well, all across the country for students who want to go to school online. So that's what I do now as my day job. And then when I have auditions, I go to auditions and things like that. So that's important. You got to have a day job. Some people are like waiters and things like that, but I find that, the waiters and things like that, you might make a lot of money, but I think that because I have like a steady day job, I'm making a little bit more money. I don't know. I might be wrong because they might be getting tips and things like that. But I don't know. I just don't. I never wanted to be a waiter and an actor at the same time. But yeah, those are only my two careers. So, a children's fitness teacher and a student advisor. But yeah.
Yeah. So since you're into fitness, have you put yourself in some of those marathons or some of those other types of things going on
Right,
over in
I'm
New
into
York?
fitness, but not that into fitness, Dr. Ron. That's a bit much. I mean, have I put myself into a marathon? You No. What I like to do though is I love jumping rope. I jump rope all the time. Today, I don't know what the temperature was there in Chicago, but today here in New Jersey, New York, it was a very, very nice day. This is one of the days since I had to be on somebody's show. I would have rode my bike up the Hudson, and it's just beautiful, beautiful. So I love biking, and that's 8 miles, 4 miles there and 4 miles back to my house. So I love that, and that's one of the things that my dad instilled in me as well was just taking care of your body and trying to be healthy and things like that. And he was trying that as well, but things happen. But
He
things
was
happen.
doing a pretty good job.
Things
He was
happen.
doing a good job.
Love.
Now you want to talk about your dad a little bit? Let's talk about him a little bit more. Now he was a former NFL player,
Yeah. And he
you
and he
know,
played and he played basketball. Yeah.
and he played basketball, and he hung out with a lot of people that were in sports as well.
Hmm.
You know, Ron Carter used to be a Laker at one time.
Hmm.
That was a very close friend of his. And he was on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it kind of hit me the other day that you said you was going to go watch some football and watch the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I was like, it must be in the family.
Right.
You're still a fan of that team, huh?
Yeah, we're not doing
Yeah.
really well right now. We have a new quarterback. What's his name? Pickett. Yeah, we're in the rebuilding season, as they call it. It's not really good. But I am a diehard Steeler fan. Diehard Steeler fan. Yeah, and it's
Okay.
really cool that he was able to do that. He was so athletic. He played sports all year round. He played baseball. He was really good at baseball, really good at basketball, and obviously good at football because he played for the Steelers for a short period of time. So he was just so athletic and things like that. And that was instilled into me. I played basketball as well, and he encouraged me to play basketball. So it wasn't I loved it, but I didn't love it as much as he did. He really loved the game. So yeah.
Yeah. Now, when you played basketball, were you like just any college level or anything?
I actually tried out for college, and I was and I they told me that I can walk on and that I would have a spot, but I didn't want to. I had a scholarship, a partial not a partial scholarship. It was like they gave me some money for academics. So I was like, I'm just gonna do my academics for now. But that's why I said I loved it, but I wasn't in love with it that much. You had to it's dedication.
Hmm.
You have to be really, really dedicated and disciplined. You have to get up at 6 a.m. on the college level. You might have 2 days where you're getting up at 6 a.m. to practice. Then you got to come back after class to practice again. Then you're looking at film and things like that, and working with a trainer, lifting weights. So it's not easy. You really have to love the sport to play it at a level above high school. You have to be really dedicated. So
Hmm.
I applaud anybody who's doing that now. Um, you know, so yeah, no, I didn't play in college. Played in high school. Loved it in high school. We won city championship. We were good.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to all the Shinley Spartans. Um, you know, so yeah.
Yeah. So now I know at one time you used to go back home to Pittsburgh for the holidays. Do you still do that,
I still
or?
do. I still do. I still visit my mom and my grandma. My grandma, she turned 91
Wow.
in when did she? Oh, June 6th. June 6th.
Okay.
Man, I love her so much. She is my everything. My everything. And my mom is my everything as well. So yeah, I always go back to see them, and yeah, and I stay there. Since I'm working from home, it's a good thing because I get to stay there more because I get
Mm-hmm.
to work from home and I don't have to take off or anything like that. So I get a longer time with them, and a longer time is always good. So
Hmm. So you know you got to shout out everybody else that you didn't shout out from back home because they're gonna be mad at you when they see this. You
they
ain't
know,
call my name, huh?
so they know who they are. I'm not sure.
You
So
say you ain't
all my
shouting out
friends, all
nobody,
my
huh?
peoples in Pittsburgh.
Right, yeah, there you go.
Right.
You know, because you said moms and grandma. Well, why you didn't think about my all the cousins and all
Right.
the other
I used to
folks
have
that's sitting
all
there?
the Gissendanners and
There you go.
and
There you
shout
go.
out to all of them, and
Yeah,
everybody,
there
my
you go.
cousins, my friends, my close friends. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, it's interesting. We were talking right before the show, and you have. I always thought she was your cousin, but then I found out, she is your cousin, but by way of a cousin,
Right.
you know,
Right.
because I was like, anybody with that,
That,
last
yeah.
name that's black, I know you got to be related to him.
Right.
So, and I was actually correct in, with the evaluation of that because that is such an unusual name.
It is.
I know your dad told me about it a few times. You want to share what he told you?
No, you sure? What did he tell you? What did he tell you?
Oh no, how you gonna walk around with a handle like that and then you don't know what it means?
I know. I believe it's German, right? He always
Right,
it was yeah, it's
right.
German. That's what he told me, and that's what I know about the
Yeah,
Gissendanner.
yeah. Well, he mentioned that he was kind of proud of his name
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that people always thought he was German until they met him, and then they find out, well, how did that happen?
Right. How'd you get this name?
Right, how'd you get this name?
Right.
And at that point in time, he's trying to explain to him, like, hey, well, forget about that. What can we do together?
Right. Exactly. Let's network. That was him. Let's network. He was, he
Right,
really had
exactly.
entrepreneurial spirit.
That's how me and him met.
Mm-hmm.
We were hanging out with Ron Carter, and I can't remember a time when he wasn't involved with Ron Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ron and I have been knowing each other for a very long time.
Right. Right.
And every time Ron would start a new escapade, your dad would be right there with him,
Right.
And I always thought, I say he was his shadow for a long time. I was like, do you even cast your own shadow? And then one day he started talking to me,
Right.
he came out from underneath the shadow, and
Uh-huh.
then that was
Uh-huh.
it. We started trying to make some things happen,
Right, right. Yeah, no,
you know.
he was an
Yeah,
entrepreneur before I even know what an entrepreneur was. He was that, and
exactly.
now this is the age of entrepreneurs. Everybody's an entrepreneur now, and he was on that boat way, way before then. And I believe if he
Exactly.
was still here, he would still be an entrepreneur, and I believe he would be very successful because he was on that wave way before anybody else was on that wave. So
Oh, he was a good
hopefully,
hustler.
hopefully by now he would have figured it out, and I'm pretty sure he would have, and he would have been doing really, really good, really good.
Yeah, he
He
was
was
a
a
good
very,
hustler.
very smart man.
Look, that we call that hustling.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was about. So let's talk about daddy-daughter relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I know if it gets too difficult, you don't want to talk about it, we can move on.
Right.
But sometimes young ladies don't have an opportunity to have a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
with their father. So
Right.
what would you say would be something that's important about having that relationship through your life?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, just because you have a father in your life doesn't mean he's a good father. My father was a good father. He would travel to come see me. He was living in Chicago most of the time, so he would travel 8 hours. I believe it's 8 hours. So that was, he was like the sun. You don't question if the sun is going to come up or is it going to shine. He was very consistent. You knew that when he said he was going to do something, he would do it. So that's the good thing about having a good father. And he laid the foundation of what a good man is supposed to be. He
Hmm.
taught me, a man is supposed to do this, a man is supposed to do that, protect, provide. You're not supposed to walk all over a man, but he's supposed to be there for you, and things like that. So he laid the foundation and showed me. And for women who don't have that, you can kind of tell, so, but it is what it is. But I'm just happy that I was able to have an example of what a good man is, or what a good relationship is, that you have with your father. So Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I hope somebody caught that. You know, So don't get an attitude with your father, because you feel like he didn't give you what you wanted to have. Because
Right.
sometimes people fall out over things.
Right. Right.
But it's the relationships that make it important to have.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah, because
uh,
he didn't always have a lot of money, and a lot of people don't. But what he had a lot of is time. So he gave me time, and he gave me, we spent a lot of time together. I remember, coming up to Chicago, going to Navy Pier, and the one of my best memories is crazy. One of my best memories of coming to Chicago is he worked for CHA with Ron Carter,
hmm
and one time he took me to Cabrini Green. And I said,
hmm
"Oh my goodness, this," because I was like maybe 10, 9 or 10. He took me to Brittney. I was like, "This is crazy. They have a jail. There was like a jail inside of the project." I was like, "This is crazy." See, that's one of my the memories that I will never forget. So one of my greatest memories. But yeah,
yeah.
it was cool, but then it was weird. I was like, "No wonder Candyman is in here. This is crazy. No wonder Candyman wants to be in here."
Ah, the horror movie, y'all. She talking about a horror movie, okay?
Yeah, but
The
the conditions I learned
Candyman.
that the conditions in it, I guess that's why they eventually tore it down because it
Yeah.
was crazy in there.
Now they eventually tore it down because they wanted the real estate so that they can put high price,
Properties.
condos. That's what that was all about.
I see. I thought
Yeah.
they were
See the
tearing it
story
down
behind the
for the
story.
betterment of the people so they could go and find,
Right. So they pushed out all the subsidized housing,
okay,
pushed them out to the suburbs.
right.
And then all of a sudden, developers, started developing,
Mm-hmm.
in places where they never developed before. And it's so close to the loop,
Right.
a lot of those places were, prime real estate.
Mm,
So that's what the real deal was.
right.
They start putting up expensive developments which the city co-signed for
Hmm.
basically.
I see.
Yeah, that was it happens in every urban environment.
Right.
You don't have any more real estate in the downtown areas, so that means you got to start going out from the downtown areas to the nearest communities, and you
Right.
keep pushing out until you keep pushing people all the way out.
Mm,
So bad business for us, but
yeah.
good business for them.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So let me see. We talked about your dad. We talked about your relationship and how he had blessed you. So what would you say was one of your most fondest memories outside of going to the projects, in Chicago?
I
And
think
I'm
any
sure it
year
was some.
going to Miracle Mile, yeah, yeah, doing that. Just spending time with him was great.
So how often did you come to Chicago?
I think I came like maybe 4 or 5 times because he was always coming to Pittsburgh as well. So it was like maybe
Okay.
4 or 5 summers I came. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it was interesting because yeah, it was just interesting seeing Chicago and seeing a lot of African American people because in Pittsburgh it's pretty mixed, but there aren't as many African Americans as there was in Chicago. So it was cool. It was pretty cool coming
Mm-hmm.
seeing that. Yeah. Yeah, I've been hanging out with him, and he would show me around, and we'd go out to eat and things like that. I think we went to Houston's. I think it was. Was it
Mm-hmm.
Houston's? Yeah, they had some good spinach dip. I remember that. That the
Mm-hmm.
food was good, and yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
was really good. Yeah, he was a really, 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 just great guy. I miss
Yeah.
him every day. I miss something about him
Wow.
every day.
Yeah, he's my brother. I miss him too. So now, now that he gave you this image and you're well past childhood, you're,
I'm well, what?
all,
I'm well past childhood. What? Are you saying I'm old?
yeah, look, you're almost grown. Okay.
Almost.
So in your social life, your dating life, do you see the type of person that your dad would allow you to hang out with? Notice how I put that.
Right, right, right. It's been hard. It's been hard.
Uh-huh.
It's been hard. I'm trying to, look for a guy that my dad would, like me to be with, and I'm trying to, seek out that type of individual. So we'll see. And he made it hard because he was a good guy.
Exactly. He
If you're
messed
not a
you
good
up.
father, you don't, it's like, okay, I'll date anybody. But when you know the type of
The image that you're
caliber.
looking for. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, so he made it really hard for me to find somebody because I'm expecting this. I'm expecting you to hold the door. I'm expecting you to be consistent. I'm expecting you to keep your word. I'm expecting, a whole lot of stuff. And I know nobody's perfect, but these are the things I'm expecting. So
You're going to have to leave New York. Yeah.
where do I have to go? Where am I
I don't know, but you're going to have to leave New York. You might have to go to Africa to
gonna
find somebody to act right. You might have to go to the motherland, you know?
understand? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and even there they got their problems. But,
Exactly.
and that's interesting, because you do have an idea of how you feel like somebody should treat you,
Mm-hmm.
and then being in a place like we were talking about earlier, how rude they are,
Mm-hmm.
the social niceties in New York are like slim and none. So,
Right.
it's almost like, where do you look?
Right, right, right.
You
Yeah,
know, I'm,
yeah.
go ahead.
I I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of transplants that come. Like I'm a transplant that came from, that come from other states too. So, I wouldn't say everybody doesn't have those niceties, but it is very rare. It is very rare. So, and then with social media and things like that, it makes it even as everybody's looking for that Instagram model, everybody's looking, and you can reach out to anybody, social media. So this guy, not this guy, but say a guy, he thinks that he can get this girl from, maybe Los Angeles or something like that. She's an Instagram model. So, he's not really looking for anything else. So, because he has access to more women than, than say 10 or 20 years ago than they did. So
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't know. I guess social media is a good thing and a bad thing
Yeah, yeah. I tried dating service. It didn't work.
though. Okay.
I thought it was quite interesting that everybody that I would run into wanted to get something to eat, but that's it. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.
They just using you
I'm
for,
like,
for food. They were just
yeah. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. I thought we were supposed to get together and go to a movie or something.
right, right.
No, no, no. Let's go to Red Lobster. Okay, all right.
Oh, so they was just using you
They
for
were just hungry,
yeah, they were
you
just
know.
hungry for food. That's
Yeah, and I ran across a lady one time. She just told me point blank.
mm-hmm.
It was like on a Saturday, and she had been out on 3 dates that day, breakfast,
Three.
lunch, and
Oh,
dinner.
I see. Yeah, that was her hustle. That's her hustle then.
Yeah, and I said, well, you didn't like any of them?
Right.
She said, no, no, I just wanted them to buy me something to eat. And she told me this. I said, okay, thank you very much. Have a nice
Did
life.
you didn't call her back, did you? You didn't
No,
you didn't know. Oh.
nope, 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 nope. Matter of fact, I tried to erase my membership off the site,
Right.
but they ain't got no delete button on there.
So you still on there.
Yeah, I'm still on there, but I don't go over there looking for no messages and
Right,
nothing.
right. That is
It's
crazy.
just interesting that you know, um, I guess in this day and age, and I've said this several times. When I was coming up as a kid, it was or a young person. I wasn't a kid,
Mm-hmm.
but as a young person, it was 10 to 1.
Mm.
And what I mean by ten to
Ratio.
one, 10 women
Mm-hmm. To one guy, yeah.
for every one guy. So of course we acted accordingly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So nowadays, I think it's like 50 to 1. I think I saw a
Mm.
statistic somewhere.
Wow.
For
Yeah.
every guy, there's at least 50 women.
Wow. Wow, yeah.
So the odds are not in women's. That's why they have to feel like they have to share sometimes.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
look,
You
you
gotta
got them
be a
first, but I got them second, so we're gonna share this.
side chicks. Yeah. Yeah. Some women are happy being side chicks, and hey, more
Yeah,
power to you. Uh,
absolutely. Yeah. Well, look, we got about 10 minutes left in the show. So I think we covered a lot of territory, talking about you and what's been going on in your life, and where you're living at, family, and things like that. So, what is it that you would like to cover in these last 10 minutes? I know, it's something that's on your heart, on your mind that you would want to say to friends and family. I know you beat them up before, we got on the air, talking about they too busy to come and watch my show,
Yes,
you know.
yeah, they skipped out on me with watching the show, but hopefully they'll catch it on YouTube when you post it out.
Uh-huh.
But no, really, I just wanted to just thank you for having me and just say like, you're just an awesome person. And Miss Tony as well. I want to thank her as well. She keeps in touch and she always reached out, and you guys are my Chicago family and I love you all, and I'm really thankful for you all. But yeah, like a lot of people don't do that, So you, since day one, since 2012, you always kept up with me and always have, seen how I am, that I need anything, put me in contact with people, and, try to be that success coach and that mentor that I need. So, it's just a blessing, to have you all. So that's all I really wanted to say is thank you for having me on the show. And it was
Yeah,
fun. And
well, it's been a pleasure, staying in touch with you. I try not to bother you because I know you got a life, and sometimes, people can be, too much of a, like, hey, what you doing? No, I ain't that person. I just want to say, hey, you okay? You all right? Somebody's thinking about you, try and reach out to you, you
hmm
know, just to keep you uplifted and encouraged. And I tried to hook you up with some, I just found out recently that I still got connections in New York. I had a friend of mine get in touch with me, and reach out to me. I say, y'all still in New York? Oh, wow. Okay. So I might still be able to make a few phone calls and make some things happen on your behalf.
all right.
A lot of people getting out of there though. The
hmm
one guy that is a good friend of mine, shout out to Ari Henry. He was working with the Teamsters,
Okay.
working on the set with all of the, what is it, the cop stories and the law stories out there in New York that they do.
Oh, okay. SVU and things like
Yeah, all of that.
yeah,
He
Columbia
was
Law
part of the
Order.
transportation. Yeah,
hmm
and he went back to New Orleans. He gave it up. And he's like, okay, I'm done. I'm
Right.
out of here. I'm going back where I came from. Because he had been up there since hurricane, one of those hurricanes down in New Orleans.
hmm
That tore up everything.
hmm
So it's interesting living in New York. I used to come in and out of New York every other year, so you know, I used to be up there quite a bit, and I could never get used to New York. Never get used to it. It's a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to stay there, past 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But 10 minutes is too long. Gotta go.
Right.
Uh, it's just a very, very fast paced city.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. And, Broadway is nice, um, Times Square is nice. I mean, all the tourist things, they're nice,
hmm
but, you can't do that every day.
Yeah, there's only so much Broadway, so much Times Square. You can. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
touristy
Can't
thing.
do it every day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, I think before the show, we were talking about the weather. You said you're going to save it for the show.
So we talked about the weather. I said I would have been biking because it was
Oh,
yeah
that's when
yeah
you
so
was trying to throw off on me talking about because I had to do the show. I wasn't able to go
but
ride
yes,
down the
I
Hudson and ride
enjoyed the
back.
nice
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I let it go past because I was like, did she just say something? Yeah, I caught it, but I was just like, okay.
It was
Yeah, I thought you had something other than that to add to the
no, it's just
conversation.
October is probably one of my favorite months weather
Uh-huh.
wise. Yeah, I like transitional weather, like going into summer, going into to fall, winter. I love those months. So yeah,
Good.
yeah. How is it in Chicago? What's the
It was
temperature?
it was very nice and rainy,
Mm-hmm.
and it started getting cold. So,
Okay.
typical Chicago, one day it's nice, the next day it's kind of crappy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we go through down here.
I see.
Yeah. So, what's your future looking like? What do you think the future holds for you? I really want to get this on tape. because we're
Right,
going to
right.
play this later.
I think I'm gonna do some content creation, more auditions, more landing of auditions, more theater, and hopefully you'll see me on TV, on a national, broadcasted station and things like that. So, hopefully bigger and better things for 2022, 2023. But yeah, because I still love it. I still have a passion for it. I'm doing a lot of self tapes. That's where the industry is right now. You do a lot of self tapes, so they're not necessarily wanting you to, come in. So you can do the sides, which is just the script that they want you to do, and then you send it in, and if they like you, then they'll give you a call back. If they don't, but it's easy. I think it's easier for both, like because you don't have to spend money getting on the train. You can just do a self tape right in your home. So it's really good. I think it's really good where the industry is right now with that. Um, but yeah, other than that, I see myself doing bigger and better things.
So when you say content creation, what type?
Um,
Drama, adventures, horror stories?
right now, I don't want to count my eggs before before they hatch, but right now I'm working on some children's content, because
Okay.
I was already working with children, so and I love children. Hopefully, to have children of my own one day.
Well, wait a
But
minute.
yeah.
See, you got to get the man first before you can start having the children. It's an order to this thing here now. Unless you're gonna
Man,
get a
I know
test
you
tube
can't.
baby or something, you're gonna get a
My
couple test tube
middle name
babies,
is Mary. So I might Brittney Mary. So I might get I might have another immaculate.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah,
You never know.
because
Never
test tube babies are coming back around now,
Yeah, there are a lot of women who are choosing to do that, and and more power to them. So
You
I think
said more
that's really
power
really
to
good, really really good. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Other than that, like more content creation, and putting my own things out there on YouTube and on the various social media platforms, and you know and still acting and doing theater and things like that. So
So when you say children, now you talking about like ABCs type stuff or teaching
no,
people,
it's
morals
a little
or
different.
something
It's a
like
little
that?
different than that. It'll
Okay.
probably be more so animated and
Okay.
things like that. So that's what I'm looking towards. But again, I don't want to count my eggs before before they hatch. But that's what
Oh well, we gonna count it as happening. Okay. Yeah, that's what we're gonna
we'll
count it
see.
as.
We'll see.
Yeah. Because I understand children's content really blows up a lot.
It's really popular, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if they get, because you get money from ads and things like that. I'm not sure if they get paid as much because children have a tendency to just watch it over and over and over again. It's not like they're a new, subscription. So when you see like a million views, maybe one child watched it like, 5,000 times or something because they really liked it because
Gotcha.
that's how children are. So
Right.
I'm not sure how they do it as far as that, but yeah, children's content is really really good. There's like Ryan's World, is Petty the Pew, or I don't know what his name is, but yeah, they're making a lot of money. They're making a lot of money.
You said Patty the Pew?
Petty the Pew or something like that. It's just this one guy who does children's content. Yeah,
I would not know anything. See, I don't have any children, little kids, so I
right,
wouldn't
right.
know nothing about it. I would not be knowing anything about any of
Yeah. Well, Ryan, he's like 7 and he's already a millionaire. Like he's
Wow.
a millionaire. Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
children's content is really really good, especially if you can do some good children's content.
Yeah. Well, it's that time. We got about 2 or 3 minutes left on the
Oh
show.
man, 2 or 3 minutes. This went
And
fast.
and I just want to say this, it is an honor and a privilege to have been a part of your life and still be a part of your life. I love you and I've always loved you and I try to show love towards you, as much as I can, without sounding creepy. But just trying to be in your life and be an encouragement. So I thank you for coming on and sharing what's going on because, your dad had a lot of friends and I'm sure a lot of them are watching. Like I said, somebody had called me when they saw your name the other day, said, "Oh, that's got to be his daughter." And with that, with Gissendanner on there. Oh yeah, we know who that is. So they'll be watching and they'll be glad to see, what's been going on in your life all the way up till now. So thank you for sharing and being open about your life. I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna still be around. I'm gonna be getting on your nerves in the future, and don't let no man come around. I'm gonna let him know, hey, what's your name, boy?
Yep.
You know, and that'll make him run right there. If he can't handle that part, I know he in trouble.
Yep. Yep.
What's your name, boy? You know,
I'm gonna bring them right to you, right to you.
yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Hmm.
That's what we're here for. And then I'm gonna put him on the hot seat. You
See?
got an ID? That's the first question I always ask them. You got ID? I need to see your ID. I
Right.
need to run a background check on you.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I got two questions that I always ask my guests when they come on the show. So the first question is, will you come back and visit me again?
I sure will. I sure will. I would like to co-host to talk about some like current events or something like that. If you had, when you have some shows like that to talk about some of that, and yeah,
Look at it. She only been on one show and she taking over already,
yeah,
y'all.
we could get some con.
Yeah, and we can do that.
Yeah.
We can do that. We can create some content for your test reel.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
And my second question is, what would you like to leave with the people before we leave today?
What would I like to leave with the people? Probably just everybody's here for a reason. If you think you are not, if you don't have a purpose, you have a purpose. You just have to dig deep and search and maybe spend some time with yourself. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody's meant to be here. You know, and be creative and do what you love and don't care about what other people think. Just do what you love, and you're meant to be here, and you're loved and you're supported. If you weren't supported, you wouldn't have made it to the physical world. So yeah, you're supposed to be here.
And very positive. Thank you for those words of inspiration.
Hmm.
Well, stay right there. Don't go anywhere. We're going to try and get out of here for today. I want to encourage everyone to join me this Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Street News Now, Six Guys and You, where we have very interesting current event conversations. Join us. We would love to have you on the show, asking questions and filling in what's going on. Also, join me each and every Saturday from the desk of Dr. Ron every Saturday at 12 noon, right here on YouTube, where I bring you commentary that'll make you scratch your head and wonder what the hell is going on. Also, I want to invite you once again to go over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. When you get over there, please support all of my advertisers. They make it possible for me to do what I do. I want to thank all of the people that have made contributions up to this point. Please keep up the good work. Thank you. And please subscribe, like, and share. Hit that little subscribe button, share with somebody, and tell somebody about the show. Tell them to go check it out. Send them a copy of it. Let them check it out for sure. So I look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday. You all be safe. Take care. Love you.